Hello and welcome to Uplifting Habits, Simple Strategies for a Sustainable Healthy Lifestyle. I'm your host, Vicki Cleary, and I guide ambitious women just like you to find more focus, more energy, more productivity so you can thrive, whether it's in business or in life, all by tapping into sustainable habit change around nutrition, movement, sleep, and stress management. Now, first, I feel like I should give you an update that I am feeling so much better. I feel like I've recovered so much more of my energy after being sick, which felt like the month of November. So feeling better, that's a huge win. And it actually works out quite well because then I can be nice and energized as I share this topic with you today. And today, I want to give you a little pep talk about feeling fit, strong, healthy, and less stressed throughout December and the holiday season. So there are so many reasons to carve out time for your self-care this time of year. The most important being your mood. And mood is important during the holidays because we don't want to be the Grinch, right? You don't want to be the Grinch inadvertently. You can be the Grinch by choice if that's what you want to do. But having a happier mood or just feeling more energized and whatnot can keep people from misinterpreting your lack of energy or your low mood as being Grinch-like. So we're going to avoid being the Grinch this holiday season by being able to focus on some of these strategies that actually, we'll call them self-care, but it's taking care of yourself. So everything that I'm going to mention today will positively affect your mood. So that's the bonus. But it also, well, that's the thing. But the bonus is that it will also help your immune system, your quality of sleep, and not to mention any of your fitness or wellness goals that you might be working on, because it's all connected. So we're going to start by talking about how what you eat affects your mood. There are foods, and you may know what I'm talking about. You may have experienced this, but there are foods that make your mood worse. If you eat too much of them, they can leave you feeling tired, cranky, bloated, blah, right? You know what I mean. And you might have guessed it by now, but we're talking about processed foods. So things like pasta, breads, pizza, right? That was the one thing that kept coming to mind, is pizza. And then also foods with added sugars like candy, pies, baked treats, right? A lot of these things that are, around this time of year and different holiday parties, get-togethers and that kind of thing. Now, these foods generally pretty much basically have very little nutrition for the amount of calories that they contain. And they can negatively affect your body's systems, including your digestion and your blood sugar levels. So a research study that was done actually before the pandemic found that more than half, so this is like an average of the people they studied, more than half of our daily calories are coming from these kinds of foods, these processed foods with very little nutritive value. And now experts think that this number has actually increased, from half of our calories to more because of how our habits have changed after being, in lockdown or, as we've transitioned through this pandemic. Now, both of these, the various kinds of treats, and then even like non-sweet necessarily, but processed foods, can wreak havoc on your mood. So if you've ever felt like this has happened to you, right? So again, pizza kept coming to mind for me. So we have pizza night occasionally. Yes, we do have pizza night. but it's like far, very few and far between, right? But when we do eat the pizza, at least for me anyway, can't speak for the rest of my family, but afterwards, I kind of feel a little out of it sometimes, right? It's like, man, the pizza was good, whatever. But then, I feel like bloated. I just kind of feel, ugh. I'll get like a little boost of energy and then just be like, oh my gosh, I don't have any energy for the rest of the evening, right? I just want to crash on the couch. So the sugars in these processed foods actually cause a huge increase in blood sugar. But then as your body starts to take care of these sugars, processes through these sugars, your energy crashes. That's what leaves you feeling like, zombie, right? Pizza zombie, processed food zombie. Now, this isn't to say that you should stay away from your favorite holiday treats, but it's to kind of give you an idea of what's happening so that you can be more mindful of what you're eating, right? To enjoy them in small amounts. So they are an indulgence. So let's treat them as such, right? Keep them enjoyable. Don't eat so much that you feel gross after eating them, sending your body into overdrive, trying to digest them and handle the sugar influx. Now, when your body detects these sugars, it actually goes into action, right? Doing its thing, creating insulin and trying to capture and convert all of that sugar to energy or to store it. Now, there's only so much that your body can burn off, especially if you're not moving after that meal or after that consumption. So if it can't burn it off immediately, your body's going to store it. And of course, how does it get stored? That energy gets stored as fat. And that's probably the last thing you want stored, right? That's the one Christmas gift you don't want. So if you can just give a little indulgent treat, and your body's able to process these sugars, right, without going into overdrive. Okay, so those are the foods that kind of make your mood worse. Let's talk about foods that help your mood. Specifically, let's talk about healthy fats and vitamin B12. So studies have shown that these can make a huge difference in so many people. Low levels of both healthy fats and vitamin B12 may be linked to depression. And so when we're talking about mood, if we can keep those two things from being deficient, then it can help regulate our mood. You can get both healthy fats and vitamin B12 from fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, along with grass-fed beef and fortified eggs. So if you're vegetarian, or you're just trying to minimize your animal products for any reason, you do you. On the plant side of things, you can get healthy fats from plenty of things, right? Flaxseed, nuts, avocados. However, it's very hard to get B12 from a plant source since it's primarily found in animal proteins. So in order to keep your B12 up, natural sources, animal sources are super adequate, but you can also take a look at supplementing with, like, I think our daily vitamin has a certain amount of B12. So that's something to look at, something to talk to your doctor about. And then again, you could do the salmon, the mackerel, the tuna, grass-fed beef, fortified eggs, if you are okay with the animal products. So basically, eating healthy whole foods as your diet, full of healthy fats and B12, will help to regulate your mood. Now, if you aren't sure how to adjust what you're eating towards these more whole foods, and to make sure that you're getting adequate portions for what your body needs, this is something that I actually work with my clients on. We take a look at what you're eating, and not just what, but also how you're eating and why you're eating. And then we refine your meals and your eating strategies, your activities, to support getting the nutrients that your brain and your body needs, So if this is the kind of support that you feel like you could use, then book a discovery call with me. Let's talk about how I might be able to help you work through this nutrition journey, right? The what, the how, and the why of what you're eating. So you can just go to uplifthealthylifestyle.com/discover, and I'll put the link down below so you don't try to remember it. But book a discovery call and let's talk about your goals, whatever it is you're trying to do around your food, your general habits around food. And let's talk about how we can make some tweaks to get you feeling more energized and boosting your mood for these holidays. So moving on, another excellent mood booster is exercise. Health guidelines recommend getting at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week. Now you can slice and dice that however you want to, really, but one example is 5 times a 30-minute session of activities like brisk walking, cycling, swimming, even yoga, right? I like to do a vinyasa yoga, and I teach Saturday morning. So hey, if you're in Wichita, come to one of my classes. You can always just DM me the word yoga and I'll send you the details. But it doesn't have to be like this hardcore aggressive exercise. Moderate exercise, 150 minutes each week. So have you ever felt that quick mood boost after working out? I do. Like, especially there's the workouts that I do that are super hard and really I just want to like crash and have a protein shake. But on those moderate ones, like I feel that mood boost. So exercise works on so many levels to benefit our brains and our bodies, hormonally, physically, psychologically, right? So when we talk about the hormones, the chemicals, exercise triggers the release of hormones that make you feel better, which boost your mood and curbs stress. 2 things that we might appreciate, right? So it boosts the production of serotonin, which is that neurotransmitter that helps to regulate mood and some cognitive functions. It also gives a short-term boost of your endorphins. These are the chemicals in your brain that help to block pain and produce that natural high. So when you get done with that moderate workout, you're feeling, better, you're feeling like your spirits are lifted, what have you. Physically, working out actually kind of gets you out of your head, right? Sometimes we get stuck in our work or what we're going on, whatever we're processing in our minds. Working out can actually help pull you out of that and help you reconnect with your body. This can also boost your mood, and it also helps to loosen tight muscles and burn off the physical effects of stress, right? Like, especially like I notice when I start to get stressed, my shoulders start to creep up and get really tense and tight. And so if I can get some movement in, I notice the shoulders start to soften. Now, many types of exercise actually do help to lower inflammation, which is also a potential cause of depression. So again, depression being a mood downer, right? And the exercise helping to pull us out of that. Now, psychologically, among many other things, you get this feeling of accomplishment, which in itself is a mood booster. And you also kind of get this shot of self-esteem, right? So these things that help you feel like, gosh, darn it, yes, I did get that workout in. Check the box, right? You feel good for having, if you had to make yourself do it or being able to take the time to do it. So now, again, if you're concerned that you don't have time or energy for a workout, really just start, right? Whether it's, just start going for, I'm just going to do a short walk to the mailbox and back, or whatever it is. So I like to call these movement snacks, just a little bit of movement just to get you out of what you've been working on. Just small increments. It could be 5 to 15 minutes of any activity, right? It could be walking up and down the hall. Sometimes I like to go all the way down the stairs. I work on the 4th floor. I'll run all the way down the stairs or run back up and then go back to work. It gives you a little mental break while also helping you connect with your body. Now, you can even, so, if you don't feel like you have that time right now to go do a workout or do, something specific, you can just try focusing on the number of steps that you take each day. The goal to get between 7 to 10,000 steps a day. And this is, again, another place you can build over time. If you are nowhere near 7,000 steps a day, don't all of a sudden just go make yourself walk 7,000 steps, right? Try adding wherever your average is, bump it up to 500 for the week, right? Every day you're getting that extra. So if you're at 2,000 average for the week, every day for the week, bump it up to 2,500. So whatever you need to do to kind of get those extra steps. Again, it could be walking down the hall, take the dog for a walk. I'm sure your little four-legged friend would super appreciate that. There's lots of ways that you can get creative. And as ambitious women, sometimes we have to get creative with how to fit in movement and workouts, but it is so important for our overall health and in optimizing our energy and focus. Now, if you aren't sure how to fit in more movement, this is also something I work with my clients on. We take a look at your routines and your habits, and we use data to see how much you're actually moving your body. Then we refine your activities from there. Things that you like to do, things that you want to do, things that you can reasonably fit in. Now, if this is an area where you feel like you could use some support, if you need someone to step in as your well-being project manager, then schedule a discovery call with me and let's discuss, again, how my coaching can help you. Post that link in the notes below so you don't have to remember it. Okay, so now the fourth way to boost your mood, I think this is the third way. I miscounted, right? So I'm pretty sure it's the third way to boost your mood, is to take a break from stress during your day. So if you're like most people, you probably don't give very much thought to your breathing during the day. And your body's designed that way, right? It happens without you having to think about it. It's part of your autonomic system. And you actually take about 22,000 breaths every day. But it is so worth paying attention to, even if only for a few minutes every day. Now, the way that you breathe is linked with your health and your stress level, your fitness, your energy, and it can affect every single cell in your body. So that sounds like a pretty good reason to pay attention to it every now and again. Now, if you haven't focused on breathing exercises before, I think you're going to be amazed at how different you can feel in just a few minutes. The way that you breathe can leave you feeling stressed or anxious, or relaxed and calmly energized. So when you breathe in deep and slow in a steady pattern, it signals your parasympathetic nervous system to calm your body down. Now, if you're stressed or if you're experiencing anxiety, then being mindful of how you're breathing is one of the best things you can do to help get into a more relaxed and centered state. Just 1 minute or 2 minutes of focused breathing during your day can reduce that sympathetic nervous response, that stress response, and it can bring you to a better mood. So I want to share with you a breathing technique. It's super simple breathing technique. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and it will help boost your energy, your focus, your productivity, okay? Takes about a minute, and now some of the breathing exercises that I teach it's like the nostril breathing. Nope, none of that here. We're keeping it super simple, and I'll guide you through it so you can get the pattern. But basically, you're going to inhale to a count of 2. Sounds super short, but bear with me. Inhale to a count of 2, and then every time you exhale, you're going to increase that count by 1. So the first exhale is 2. The next exhale is 3. And then 4, and then 5, and then you start over again. So you're going to go through. So 5 would be the max length of your exhale, and then you start back at the top. So, in a minute or 2 minutes, you could get maybe 2 or 3 different rounds, separate rounds of this exercise. So we're just going to go through one round just so you can get the feel of it. And then, I encourage you to try this on your own. Set a timer, or even just like try going through one round of it on your own and just see how you feel. Okay. So you're going to sit tall with your chest open, your shoulders back, kind of soft, feel a little relaxed. We don't need to be like Frankenstein with our back super straight. And try to breathe in and out through your nose. If you're stuffy or have other issues with doing so, breathing through the mouth is okay. There are benefits to breathing through the nose. I won't get into all those today, but we're going to start with that inhale to a count of 2. I'll count you through them. So we're going to inhale 1, 2, exhale 2, 1. That was a little fast. Let's slow it down. Inhale 1, 2, exhale 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 1, 2, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 1, 2, exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, see, super simple, right? I do encourage you, we started off a little fast. That was my bad for the way I was counting. But if you can keep it, a nice steady count as you're going through, that 2 count inhale won't feel so rushed. So again, repeat, on your own, try it, during your workday for 1 minute. You could even do 2 minutes, right? Maybe 2 or 3 rounds. And if you do practice it, direct message me, DM me. I would love to know your experience. How did it feel, right? Did you notice that you had, a little more, less stress kind of feeling, a little more mental clarity, a little less, high strung from your day, right? So let me know, send me a message. Okay, so there is one final thing that suffers a ton during the holidays, and it has an enormous impact on our mood. Do you have an idea what it could be? It's sleep. I know. I don't know how many episodes at this point I have talked about sleep, but I'm going to keep talking about sleep because it's underrated. It's an underrated component when it comes to your mood and basically everything that's wellness related. Okay. And then during the lead up to the holidays, sometimes we don't get enough sleep. It could be for, numerous reasons, from having too much scheduled, or staying up later because of parties, changes in your diet, especially if you're having more processed foods than you're used to, or even drinking alcohol, you name it. There could be any number of things factoring into your lack of sleep. But it matters because your body does a lot of recovery while you're asleep. Your body and your brain, let me say, right? The time that you sleep is so imperative because your brain and your body that's when they get to recover, okay? When you don't get enough sleep, your brain and your body aren't fully recovering, and this can lead to added stress and can actually make you feel grouchy. Dare I say Grinchy, right? And so, like I said at the beginning, we don't want to inadvertently be tagged as a Grinch. So get your sleep. Now, some things that might indicate you're not getting enough sleep. You might feel angry, depressed, anxious. I know so many things can actually feed into that, so bear with me. Your willpower goes down the drain, right? Your ability to fend off all those negative choices. It's harder to focus and learn. You could be more accident prone. Your hunger hormones can get out of balance. So you may feel hungrier than normal. You may have a hard time feeling full. Your sex drive can go down, and it can actually affect your immune system. So it's harder for your body to fight illness. Not a good thing when there's so many germs flying around this time of year. Lack of sleep can affect your skin's health. And last but certainly not least, it can be bad for your heart. And chronic sleep deprivation is linked to serious diseases like cancer and diabetes. So lots of reasons there, at least 10 or more reasons why you should prioritize your sleep and getting more sleep. So the goal to be about 7-ish hours of sleep. And I say ish because everybody's a little bit different, and depending on your chronotype and such, you may require different amounts of sleep. So that's something that you need to dive into, especially if you get what you consider a full night of sleep, 7 or more hours, and you still feel really tired, then you may need to see a doctor, or we may need to work on what's going into your sleep, and are you getting good quality sleep. Now, also, if you don't sleep well, it could be tempting to skip your workout. Again, I mentioned that your hunger, the way you eat, right? Whether or not you feel hungry, but your hunger hormones can be affected, and it can cause you to crave those things that you don't want to eat. So starts to affect some of these other mood boosters that we talked about earlier. So pretty crazy, right? Sleep has an enormous impact on everything that we do and the health and the well-being of our bodies and brains. So again, if at all possible, try to get more sleep. Make sure you're scheduling enough time for sleep. Be aware of certain behaviors that can affect your sleep, like drinking alcohol, having too much screen time, or having any screen time too close to bed, eating too close to bed. So, there's screens off an hour before bed, eating 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. So different ways that start to cue your body that we're starting to get ready for sleep. Also helps to reduce the stigma that helps keep us awake. Yeah, so being mindful about making more time for sleep. So knowing what time you need to go to bed to get, whatever time you have to wake up. And then looking at those habits that you have in the evening, going up till bedtime. These can all go a long way towards getting your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Now, I will tell you, I have actually been paying very close attention to my sleep lately. I went through a period where I would stay up way too late working on content and programs. And yes, I should know better. I do know better. But when you get in the flow and you're like, if I could just crank this out, right? But I started to notice I wasn't being as productive as I wanted. I was having a hard time focusing, right? Like I'd sit down ready to do something, and I'd be like, oh, now I need to go check on this, and oh, I need to go check on that. And I just couldn't get in that zone to sit still and do the work, which would then mean I'd have to stay up later to get it done. I would also get tired in the middle of the day. My brain was foggy. It'd be hard to concentrate. There just wasn't any clarity upstairs. So I've been quite intentional about going to bed before 11, that's big progress for me. And then, I'm not always getting, even as I'm working on it, I'm not always getting those 7 hours of sleep, but I am working on it. And I actually am testing several apps and trackers. So I, do the Apple Watch, and I'm kind of playing around with some different things, different apps that I like to track and see what kind of details I can get, right? And since I've been tracking it, I'm actually getting more sleep, right? So I'm hyper focused on it, and I'm tracking it every day. And of course, when you're measuring something, then you're more inclined to take action towards it. So what you measure grows. And I've actually been feeling better, feeling more energized. I'm sure it has helped in my recovery after being sick, right? And I also feel like I have more mental clarity. So all these benefits that we've talked about from getting more sleep, I am rediscovering as I'm, bringing myself back into alignment with the sleep that I need. Now, if you aren't sure whether you are getting enough sleep or how you can get better sleep, this is something I also work with my clients on. So we take a look at your routines, your habits, and we use data to see how much sleep you're actually getting. And then we refine your activities to support getting the sleep your brain and body needs. Now, if you feel like this is the kind of support that you need, then I encourage you once again to book a discovery call, and we can discuss how I might be able to help you with my coaching, by being your well-being project manager, and taking a look at how we can bring your habits back in line. So we covered the 4 main things that you can do this month to keep your mood up through the holidays and really beyond. We talked about eating less. So the first one is the food, and that's eating a less processed food that's making you feel tired and cranky and bloated, but also eating more whole foods that are helping to energize your body without the crash. And that was the focus on healthy fats and B12. The second strategy is moving your body. So again, aiming for 150 minutes of movement each week, incrementally building from where you are. This helps to boost your happy hormones, manage stress, and helps you sleep better. The third was focusing on your breath a few times a day to help reduce your stress response and give you more energy, focus, productivity. And then the fourth, getting more sleep so that your brain and your body can recover, and so that you have that energy and focus that you need to get through each day. So, the energizing habit for you to try this week. I think the simplest thing that you could do is to pause during your day and focus on your breathing. If you're already doing that, then try taking a look at your week and plot out when you can schedule time for movement, even if it is these small movement snacks. Plot out when you can go to bed earlier, right? Plot out when you can make a better food choice for what you're eating, right? If you have a networking lunch and they have this big buffet, maybe that's an optimum time to think about, if I'm at the buffet, where can I make some better choices, right? So when you do this planning ahead of time, you're setting yourself up for success and already deciding when you're in the frame of mind to make a healthy decision, okay? So you don't have to overhaul your entire week. Just look at a few tweaks that you can make. And again, having that plan can help set you up for success. All right. Now, even if we just practice one or two of these, we will all be in better moods for this holiday season. Am I right? Okay. Now, if you're thinking already ahead, right, to New Year's, the next year, and what goals you're going to set, what your New Year's resolution is going to be, I invite you to join my upcoming masterclass. I call it the Resolution Revolution, because how many times do we book a New Year's resolution and, we get going and then we just crash and burn, right? We give up on it, we lose steam, and then next year comes around, we're setting that same goal. So how many times are you going to set the goal to lose so many pounds? How many times are you going to set the same goal to, eat better, or to move more often, exercise more often? So the culprit, I believe, is that we set all these, we have all these grand ideas, but we're not creating the plan and the support system to back it up. And so that's what we talk about in this masterclass that I'm doing for you for free, the Resolution Revolution. It's about goal setting and action planning. It's on December 29th, so there's plenty of time for you to register. It's a live virtual masterclass that I'll take you through my process of setting healthy goals in line with your values, and then setting yourself up for success with a personalized and measurable action plan. Again, it's free, but you also have the option to register as a VIP for $67. And basically you get a 33% discount on my on a 1 hour coaching session, which is something that I usually don't offer a single session. So you get a discount and you get the opportunity to have just that 1 hour during the month of January to help, support you as you're, refining what that goal is, what that action plan is, and, towards making progress. Okay. Thank you for your time today. I love spending time with you, being able to share these different ways, different strategies that you can create a healthier lifestyle. If you found this episode valuable, please like it. Please share it. Please leave a review. Surely there's someone you know that might find it valuable. You can also screen share it and tag me. So, share it on your Instagram stories and tag me at Uplift Healthy Lifestyle. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Otherwise, I hope you'll join me for the masterclass Resolution Revolution. Otherwise, have an energized day.